You hear that in the background? Can you hear it?
What playlist are you listening to?
This is a cassette. I got my Nakamichi DR3 set up today, and
Whoa.
cassette I got in Santa Fe. Emergent Songs of the Rainbow World, Native American Flute Music, George Nakai. I don't know where I got George from. It's Carlos Nakai.
Who listens to cassettes, dude? That's good for you.
I got a whole bunch, but Native American flute music. Didn't a psychic once tell you it's good
Yeah.
for relaxation? Or
No, no, no. I did this 3-hour psychic session with this lady during COVID over Zoom. And I don't know, it was crazy. And she started like
3 hours
3 hours, dude. I was like, what? And then somewhere in there, she's
over
like,
Zoom.
my big advice is you got to listen to Native American flute music because it helps you transition from spiritual plane to spiritual plane or something like that. So I believe it.
How much did you pay for that?
Damn, I don't remember, but it is cool. I've never really had a psychic till then.
Hopefully the flute music's not too distracting. I can turn it off if it's
Nah,
distracting.
it's okay. Okay. Welcome back. This is the Buying a House in Japan podcast. This is going to be our Tokyo Base Camp series. My name is Take, joined by my co-host Joey. Joey, how you doing?
Doing good. Take. Where are we at with Tokyo Base Camp?
Whew. Okay, so we have our offer accepted, which sounds like it's a sealed deal from our understanding, right?
Yeah, so we signed a few documents recently. Honestly, I don't
That was kind of
remember
a
what
mess.
each of the documents were. Maybe we signed like a handful of them. And we also had the explainer by Yoshi, which was interesting. That's our real estate agent. He was, hey guys, I got a few important matters to discuss with you on the phone. Can we find a time for a call? I thought he was going to tell us someone died in the house because he used the same language that someone else had told me. Oh, this is the language they use when they need to disclose and something important, like someone died in the house. But no, thankfully, no one passed away in this house. Although it is interesting to know that he would not have a legal obligation to tell us because there was a purchase to a company first from the seller to a company that renovated it, and then they sold to us. So there's no more legal obligation. But Yoshi said he doesn't believe that someone died in it.
Little suspicious that we are buying a flip. Looking at Google Earth, we saw like Joey and I was looking at the plot of land and there's like a ton of trees. And we're like, nah, that can't be the right property. But I guess they did a ton of landscaping. Yoshi suspects that, or our real estate agent suspects that they got it probably for a really cheap deal. But again, we're buying it for
Yeah.
100, well, wait, 17 million yen, which is about 115,000. So I don't know how much they're really skimming off the top here, unless it's really fucked up on the inside.
Yeah, I do think we mentioned this in the previous podcast, but they're selling after owning the property for less than a year, and I think they're subject to short-term capital gains tax. I don't remember what it is, something high. Let me see if ChatGPT can give us a quick answer.
We should explore maybe flipping someday. I know that most people, for anyone listening, flipping is generally not profitable in Japan. But I don't know. This foreigner market's a new market, and I think people looking for turnkey ready, especially furnished places, could pop off. Still here, Joey?
Yes,
Okay.
sorry, I'm looking up capital gains tax. Corporate, okay, interesting. So it would be so it is a company, so they'd be subject to corporate tax on this money. It's treated for capital gains are treated as corporate revenue, so they'd be hit with a 30% tax on it. If they were an individual, it would be whatever your marginal tax rate is for your personal income tax. But okay, so they're getting taxed 30%. Interesting. So if we took 30% off the price, they at least bought it for less than that.
Okay. Going back to the actual contract reading or whatever. So we sat down with our real estate agent for about, it felt like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, Joey. I know you popped off at the end, but he literally went through every small concern with the place. He like went on each border. He explained the streets need to be 4 meters. He explained some of the risks, and it was honestly too thorough for what I wanted.
Yeah, a little too thorough. There was some interesting stuff though. There's like an archaeological discovery, 100. I know I have no idea what that means. It was pretty vague, but like 100 meters from the house.
We're
There,
not in a landslide zone, is what we also figured out, which is great.
Yeah, not in a landslide zone, although there is something, again, 100 meters away that is the very tip of a landslide zone area. So that's the type of stuff that we got to that level of detail.
Yep. So stepwise, we got our offer. I think our process was we got our offer accepted, and then Yoshi jumped on a call. I think the reason, and I think this is mandatory if you're buying a place, that the real estate agent has to sit down with you and explain like all this paperwork stuff. This is a liability thing. Something we're learning about Japanese real estate agents and real estate in general is that they're very concerned about liability and making sure that you as a buyer know what you're getting yourself into. I think he stated a couple things like over and over again. I was like, "Hey, Yoshi, got it. We're totally cool. Can we skip to the end?" But he had to go like bullet by bullet and recorded the conversation and made sure we had heard him. So yeah,
And he showed us his license like on screen
yeah,
type
that's
thing. Yeah,
funny.
it was real for legal. This is for legal purposes kind of thing. It
Mm.
seemed.
Yeah, and I think this is it's an interesting difference between Japanese real estate agents and I guess U.S. real estate agents. I feel like honestly this level of effort is really high on the real estate agents. Again, their commissions lower for the property prices, but I actually asked Yoshi at the end. I was like, Yoshi, how do you make these contracts? Are these like templated? He's like, no, I make each one individually based off the seller. And I was like, hey, how long does this take you? He's like 3 to 6 hours. Like, what, Yoshi? Are you using ChatGPT? He's like, no. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it does sound like something where ChatGPT could excel at, or at least some sort of standard format, and you just fill in the blanks for each different property at least.
Poor dude. I did tell him I think it is ripe for disruption. Hopefully we can figure out how to like start making templated formats because I it doesn't make sense how much time he's spending. It's awesome the amount of effort, but also at the same time, man, you got to be doing. You can't be spending 6 hours on this contract that we are not reading. But I guess it is a liability or conservative kind of. I don't know what the right word is, but put the liability off them, right?
Yeah, I also wonder if so we did it over Zoom, so we just got on a Zoom call. I wonder if that's only since COVID that they've been doing that. Like previous to
I bet.
COVID, I wonder if you had to go to Japan for this part of the process, or maybe it can't even be power of attorney because we gave Yoshi the power of attorney. So this is the contract between him and us. So
Mhm.
I wonder if you had to go to Japan.
Yeah, our first transaction, we didn't need to do this. So our intermediary handled this, which was awesome. I do see a benefit of doing this, though. I think we're really going through a little bit of a different process this time. Also, when we signed the contract, it was interesting. We had like DocuSign type contract, but it had a hanko, which is like the Japanese seal, like spot for it.
Yeah, e hanko.
E-Hanko. In our situation, our company or our KK is what it's called, is purchasing this property. So Yoshi had to go get our seal from our representative in Japan. It was like this whole chase, but we eventually got it. And offer is officially accepted. And sounds like this place is ours, assuming we can transfer the money on time.
Woohoo! Hit that celebration button.
Let's see the air horn. Boom. Was that the right one? Or do you want the applause?
I
I'll
meant
say
the applause, but the air horn's good
okay.
too.
I'll save the applause for another time. Joey, what's next?
I'm excited. Okay, I'm not. What's next? Amazoning things is going to be a big part of what's next.
Sorry, what's next in the purchase process? So we've signed the. I guess our contract's been accepted. We paid a 10% deposit. Uh, is it? Yeah. What's the next steps?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's going to be transferring the money around the 14th. I think we need to get the money to Yoshi. He needs to have it in under his control by the 14th. That's the day we chose for settlement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think again could be wrong. It sounds like so. The next step for us was actually to work with Yoshi and our real estate agent to figure out a date to quote unquote close. It sounds like from a closing perspective, everything needs to happen in certain order. Like we need to sign, the money needs to be transferred, and then the titles handed over. If you guys remember our podcast episode with Rob Arimoto from Shemax Legal, it sounds like we need to have a judicial scrivener in the room ready to verify who we are
Oh, that's right. I
and
forgot
then
about
to
that.
verify that the money was sent and then he like signs it off. I think that's the next meeting we have, right? Or
Yeah, you're right. Did we got to figure out? I don't even know if we picked a date. I don't think we picked a date and time,
I
but
think it's June 14th. It's all on that date.
that's
So
what's happening on June 14th.
yeah,
Oh, so everything goes down on the 14th. Okay.
Yeah.
So the money needs to be in Yoshi's hands.
Mhm.
So this is the settlement date, and on that same date, the judicial scrivener will be in the room. We have to show him some PDF versions of our identification, and then the seller's going to be there, and
Mhm.
then he's going to make the transfer or do whatever the judicial scrivener needs to do to transfer the title. Okay, I that wasn't clear in my mind. I see now.
Yeah, so our closing date, it also sounds like because we're buying this with our KK and we're not on the ground, Yoshi is having to coordinate and figure out like how to get these documents stamped and sent back to him. Our case again is more unique because we're buying it under our entity. I think this is a lot more straightforward if you're just buying it by yourself or like under a non-entity.
Yeah, it does seem like a few. The extra steps too is that there's a lot of documents and stamps that are required by a Japanese corporation for signing documents and that kind of stuff. And we don't have control over them right now. They are physically in Japan and our accountants are managing them. So it's a little bit of coordination between Yoshi, our real estate agent, and then the accountants to actually sign documents or hand over the stamp, that type of thing. So that is the added complication here. Probably Yoshi does seem willing to handle certain things via a Japanese version of DocuSign. So either FedExing Yoshi some wet signatures or handling stuff via DocuSign, and it probably would have been a faster process had we not had the corporation own this property.
Mhm. I think the only thing we're waiting before transferring the money, again, OFX has been an absolute champion, one of our main
I was thinking that
infrastructure funnels,
same
right?
thing the other day. Yeah, just like everything goes through OFX, and it's gotten faster with the business account.
Totally. So the only thing we're waiting for before transferring the sum of money is, I believe pulling up closing costs. He had alluded that the closing costs are going to be lower than we expected. We've quoted on the show 10 to 15%. I'm not sure. We'll come back with the exact percentage again. Kendall Broth, one of our previous interviews, he outlined why it was really hard to predict closing costs, but I do know overall we're having Yoshi do a couple more extra things, but he's guaranteed the 3.3% commission. And also in Japan, agents can charge up to is it 6 month or 60 month?
Yeah,
Six
it's like a
month.
flat fee of Rokuman. They're capped at Rokuman flat fee, and then capped at 3.3 as a
Okay.
percentage fee.
And Nokuman translates to like 400 US dollars. So Joey and I have been discussing recently a lot about these closing costs and like how do we motivate agents for cheaper properties. So if you're listening to us for the first time, like if you're buying a $10,000 property, the agent can only legally charge you 3.3% of the commission plus 6 month, which is like $400. So on let's say a $10,000 spot, that would be
Yeah,
like,
it's 730. I was actually doing this math today because I'm drafting up the fee agreement. So on a $10,000 house, yeah, that's $730 commission to the agent.
whack. It's like,
Given that they're hustling,
Mhm.
maybe Yoshi said like minimum 10 hours per that he works on these things and doesn't include travel and travel time
Yeah,
to the property.
dude's up at like 3 a.m. Messaging us too. I feel quite bad that on our deal he's getting a little bit more, but still, compared to the US, I worked as an agent myself. I worked like a fraction of the hours and got way higher returns just because the property price was higher.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, as
um,
Taka would mention, we're brainstorming a way to. The issue is that we have to tell buyers when they're interested in a very low house with a very low price tag that we're like, we don't really know anyone we can pass you to that can help you get this job done. Recently, we have met someone that can handle a little bit of volume in the much lower price range, but as like a consistent place to pass people, that's a real issue. Real estate agents, they don't see it worth their time to handle transactions for these lower price properties.
yeah. So hopefully we come up with a solution. I think there needs to be one because yeah, there's just so many Akias and so many houses and so little motivation by agents. But let's talk about commission, Joey. I know we've had a couple conversations with a
Yeah.
couple clients. Again, hot topic. Again, just to reiterate, agents get 3.3% and 6 month or $400. This is should be set. We recently had a client, and this might have been a miscommunication on our part or Yoshi's part, but there's a thought of that this
Dispute.
commission was flexible, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So 3.3% plus 6 mon. $400 is the legal cap that real estate agents can charge commission directly to their clients in Japan. That being said, it is technically negotiable since that's just the max they can charge. But in practice, it is pretty much non negotiable. I spoke with Kendall. We've had him on the podcast, just chatting with him on WhatsApp. I actually asked him some specifics around this, and he was super helpful. He gave some pointers that as to the reason why it's so non negotiable, and I'll just read a couple of them out. First one is that obviously it's their bottom line, so people are going to want to charge. The real estate agents would like to make more money than less money, so that's just obvious economics. The second one is that there's a fear among real estate agents that if they show a little bit of weakness and accept a discount, that the client will just come back and continue to negotiate down. And he was like, there's this perception that where's the floor? Are people
Mhm.
just going to continue to take advantage of us? The third one is a rumor that same sort of thing. Maybe message gets out that, oh, this specific brokerage, they work for cheap. And then people continue to come to them demanding steeper discounts. Fourth one is interesting, and I didn't know this, is that commissions are posted publicly. So the commission that a Japanese real estate agent makes, I'm not sure where, but apparently it's public information. So if other brokerages see a specific brokerage taking fat discounts, they might see them as sleazy or trying to steal customers from other brokerages. For example, if someone finds a house through one broker, they do a bunch of work with that one brokerage, and then they go to the second sleazy brokerage to finalize the deal because they know they're going to get a cheaper deal. It has that type of image in Japan, and brokers don't want to be seen as sleazy. And the last reason that he specified was that there's this cultural, they want to stick to a specific standard in the real estate industry in Japan. So it's just the inertia of
Mhm.
3.3% plus Rokumon.
Yeah, so we learned a lesson here, and I think moving forward, we're going to really explicitly communicate that this agent fee of 3.3% and the dokuman is standard. We had thought it was, and obviously in the past couple of days, Jerry, we've had those conversations, and there's been misunderstandings. So I think this is a learning moment for us. Just to be
Yeah.
very transparent, we get a referral fee sometimes from referring folks, and we sacrificed our referral fee to make the deal go through. I think, Joey, it'll pay dividends in the future. I hope, though.
Yeah, I think being clear with clients going forward that, hey, and I feel like this client did obviously burn a bridge with us. We had to give up our commission, but also burnt a bridge with the real estate agent that they're dealing with. The real estate agent contacted us about this client, and they're very upset.
Yeah.
So it's just like this specific client just burnt bridges all around.
Maybe it is like we'll let the dust settle. I want to give benefit of the doubt here. And again, I think had we communicated very clearly in the beginning, this wouldn't be an issue. So it was a little bit of a costly of a lesson for us, but it is, I think, overall going to be good long term and has honestly strengthened our bridge with our agent partners, right? And that they know we're flexible and we want to just get the deals done.
Yeah, and hopefully they see us as trustworthy. We want to get the deals done.
Totally. So
Um,
if you're listening to this, commissions are set. This is just the Japanese rules. We really saw these agents get pushed a little bit further than I thought. The flexibility in some of these things is not there is in America. The negotiation is less aggressive overall and more like will walk away if they feel offended.
yeah,
So hopefully the deal gets done. But overall, Joey, I think this just happened yesterday. It's crazy, a little crazy weekend. I know a little
yeah.
bit of a roller coaster, right?
Lesson learned on our part that it should have been our responsibility to, as the first point of contact and the real English speaking side of this whole setup that we're putting together, we should have been there to communicate fees much more clearly and transparently, and we'll do that going forward.
Boom. And I also think, man, these agents hustle. Like we have been partnering with a couple agents that like absolutely are killer. And I know in previous podcasts we've talked about and it's true overall in Japan, the real estate agents don't have that fire or hunger. So what we're trying to do is identify the strongest hungry folks that want to help foreigners that are bilingual. So if you book a consult with us, we'd love to match you up to the right person. We have folks all over Japan, I think, and we're trying to grow that network to help our folks or help people buy Akia. Joey, what was our mission statement? You wrote something good.
Yeah. I've been working on a few documents recently. Our mission is to help you purchase a home regardless of your budget. Sorry, it changed a little bit and it got shortened and shoved in another paragraph. But basically, we're hoping to help people buy these homes in Japan and the more affordable properties. That's what got me excited in the first place, too. Looking at these $5,000 homes, that's what got me really excited about real estate in Japan. And just due to the commission on these cheaper homes, these real estate agents, they don't want to take on these jobs.
Yeah.
So our company mission, the way what we're putting together is to figure out some system to make it worthwhile for all parties to be fairly compensated and encourage these real estate agents to take on these jobs. So we're brainstorming a little bit of a fee structure there
Yep.
to make it happen.
Absolutely. I think from whatever the year we've been deep in Japanese real estate, this is the clear problem that no one has solved. How do we help foreigners buy these cheap, undesirable by Japanese and Japanese agents, these properties that people don't want to touch? So I think we found a problem statement, Joey. I do think we are uniquely empowered to help here. I remember our Business Insider interview. He was like, "Why you guys?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, it's becoming a little bit clear why us. I do agree with that too. I do think that having the double entities, like the subsidiary in Tokyo, like having this cross border corporate structure, it's going to help us. There's going to be a way to figure this out, I think, with that corporate structure. We're excited about the problem, and I think we have a good idea.
Yep. Cool, Joey. I think that was pretty good. We talked a little bit about commissions. We talked about where we're at with our Tokyo base camp. Hopefully things pan out. We should buy some clubs. I want to go to the driving range. We're right in the center of a US military like zone, right?
Yeah, we're going to need to get invited onto the base, but
Okay.
it would be awesome if, I don't know, maybe the rules are different, but it would be awesome if we can get on that driving range.
Yeah. Well, I think we're presenting, right? We're presenting to the Air Force Base or something pretty soon.
Yeah, like a real estate investment group on Yokota
Okay.
base in Tokyo. Yeah.
All right, cool, Joey. I'm going to hit this outro with your favorite song here. What's that?
We got to start loading up different songs
Okay. Yeah.
or different sound
Let's
effects
listen.
because everybody that has the Roadcaster is going to know
Dude, nobody
this
has the
song.
Roadcaster. All right, Joey. Good episode. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. See
All
ya.
right. See ya.